Makariti. Makariti, it certainly has turned out to be a very large rubbish bag full of horse manure. We are today seeing an example of North Korean style of propaganda and state-controlled government being directed to the zombies of Aotearoa. The Point of Order is a blog focused on politics and the economy by veteran newspaper reporters Bob Edlin and Ian Templeton, who have so refreshingly made this following observation. A much more troubling sign of the state flexing its muscle can be found in a statement jointly released by the Maori Development Minister, Willie Jackson, and Maori Crown Relations Minister, Kelvin Davis. Their lack is the mobilising of the media for an exercise in mass education, or it certainly is more like indoctrination. Jackson curiously did not mention that he is also Minister of Broadcasting and Media when he gave us a whiff. Yes, he did give us a whiff, somewhat unsavoury though, of what we can expect on his watch. He and his colleagues announced that the inaugural Makariti public holiday would be marked by a pre-torn hatapu, a ceremony at Te Papa, and will be part of a 5-hour broadcast. Yes, will be part of a 5-hour broadcast carried by all major broadcasters in Aotearoa. It's bothersome enough that state-owned broadcasters will provide the same programming fare for 5 hours. Yes, for 5 hours. But the privately owned media, those dipstick, weak-willed, spineless assholes, they have agreed to pitch in. Bob Edlin and Ian Templeton have so rightly pointed out, we are tempted to liken this to the sort of thing that happens in North Korea, where the state determines exactly what people are told and, more importantly, what they cannot be told. North Korea, of course, is one of the world's most closed nations, with the totalitarianism regime tightly controlling outside information and tolerating no dissent. Satellite television is banned. Until the 1990s, there was one channel during the week, 2 on weekends. North Koreans can be sent to a labour camp for watching Western television. We're still blessed here in New Zealand at this particular moment. If we're caught changing channels to something else, we will not be arrested and marched off to a labour camp or some such. But it is imperative the next general election we must change governments. However, under the arrangement being trumpeted by Willie Jackson and Kelvin Davis, we'll be subjected to 5 hours of education. Yeah, ponder this, 5 hours of state propaganda. Anyone with only half a brain must realise by now this is straight out indoctrination. Mountainsidefm have been horrified by the amount of TV and airtime already given to this exercise of indoctrination. Already it seems many of the ass-kissing Aotearoa zombies have fallen into line. You can actually pick them out quite easily. They're probably the ones still wearing masks and watch state-controlled TV news for their basic political news and read the New Zealand Herald and accept the political news from stuff. This 5 hours is going to be hosted by Stacey Morrison and Martai Smith. The broadcast will provide insights into the significance of Makariti and include a waiata, a kapahaka, music, panel discussions facilitated by Moana Maniapoto and, of course, John Campbell and Julian Wilcox. And, of course, don't forget, no, you must not forget, that there will be an address from the Prime Minister. A message from our great leader? Well, a message from our great leader. Well, we did expect that, didn't we? But, of course, no speech, not from any leader of the opposition, Probably those in opposition told Willie and his cohorts to actually piss off. The only good news is that if we wish to find alternative programs being broadcast by the state, we can at least watch TV2. The ministers did go on. They said that this broadcast is the first of its kind. Never before has every network simulcast program on a scale like this. Our broadcasters and digital platforms are to be congratulated for collaborating to support this important camp. Aren't they just dreadful people? Aren't they awful? Right. In other words, the broadcast sets a precedent for the government to follow whenever it feels the urge to drum some other message into the zombie masses. And let's note that private sector broadcasters, which already have signed up to subsidise their operations with state funding and seem seriously disinclined to risk being accused of heresy when treaty issues are being debated, have agreed to pitch in. That's what Jackson said. They have agreed to pitch in. This is your private sector broadcasters. I tell you what, not this radio station wouldn't have any part of it. It is significant that Makariti has been the catalyst to inspire this collaboration between not only our public broadcasters, but the commercial networks as well. And how will the audience be entertained? The panel discussions will explore the themes of Makariti, remembrance, reflecting on the year that has been, remembering those who have passed, celebrating the present and what we have, looking to the future, focusing and planning for the new year. All across the country, communities and family are celebrating Makariti. In these challenging times, this unique broadcast is an opportunity to fall and all of Aotearoa, the zombies of Aotearoa, to learn a little about Makariti, celebrate the rise of the new year and engage in the Maori. Minister for Maori Crown Relations, Calvin Davis, said. Does that give you cold shivers? Because I tell you what, it makes you want to pack up and leave this crazy country, doesn't it? The broadcast will start at 6 a.m. on Friday, the 20th of June. Eh? It has been confirmed the broadcasters have been bought off by the Jackson mob with his frightening creation of Big Brother. We're reminded of George Orwell's 1984, in which Joseph Stalin and the Soviet Union are shown as leaders who destroyed their individuality to better control the citizens of Oceania. The character Big Brother and the thought police have a method to enforce the people of Oceania to possess the desired thoughts and emotions. The people of Oceania cannot think beyond the greatness of Big Brother and cannot feel any other emotion besides their love and loyalty to Big Brother, and in this case, Willie Jackson. As observed in this comment, Jackson and Davis are like tragic comedy duo. All their jokes are absolutely so PC, and you laugh. Yes, you laugh at them, you certainly don't laugh with them. Blanketing media channels stationed with obligatory Makariti coverage will just cause most people to switch off, which many intelligent people in search of real truth and balanced opinion did absolutely ages ago. I wonder if Willie will go back to being a shock jock after the next election. Judging by recent polls, he'll have to be at the top of the party list to have any hope of surviving. A friend of the team at Point of Order did observe that, true to form, we in New Zealand are late in getting to 1984. No doubt the zombie class of Aotearoa have swallowed this Maori Makariti con job without hesitation. It's going to be interesting to do a head count of the free-thinking and those intelligent enough to walk away from the Jackson-led Maritiki propaganda and give some thought to the nation's employers, who are the forced subscribers of this nonsense through legislation, forcing them to cover the holiday wages and penalty wage rates of this day, yes, this day of absolute Maori nonsense and stardust. The non-zombie class of New Zealand have already tuned out and turned off to this Maori day of horse manure.